Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the Governor from The Walking Dead. The Governor is one of the most interesting characters in the Walking Dead universe. And in my opinion, he's the best villain in the universe. But the question comes, and the question that's been going on for the longest, is could the Governor have been redeemed? Today I'm going to analyze his character, and we're going to find out if the Governor could be redeemed. The Governor we're introduced to is entirely different to how he was before the outbreak started. Before the outbreak, he was a simple man. He was a father. He had a wife, he had a daughter. He worked, he was your regular Joe. But then, when chaos ensued, the outbreak started, his family weren't so lucky. They ended up dying early on in the outbreak. This had an enormous effect on Philip Blake. On the bright side, it led to the creation of Woodbury, where Philip Blake, now known as the Governor, would lead the final remaining survivors in his town. But the loss of his family had an enormous effect on him, to the point where he keeps a zombified version of his daughter in his room, most likely for a sense of normalcy. But whatever the case, aside from the heads, this symbolizes a big change, that he is no longer Philip Blake, but now more so the Governor as a whole. That's how Woodbury came to be. He was a liar, manipulator, using his charismatic nature to keep everything under his control. He was a dictator underneath it all. He also knew how to get the ladies. Damn! To keep everything under his control, he would never allow any military or any person with experience into his crew. The only way he'd deal with them is to kill them and take their supplies for himself. Most likely he knew that if there was somebody to power over him, he wouldn't stand a chance. He believed that this was the way to protect his people, his town. Kill, take weapons, take all their supplies, to keep your people safe. In a way, it is keeping his people safe. But can you really blame him for this? I mean, this is how the world works now. It's either kill or be killed. When he first met Rick Grimes, I'm sure he saw himself in him. The people they were forced to be leaders, helping people around them, and doing brutal things to keep them safe. The Governor despised what he saw in Rick. The Governor saw a version of himself in Rick that he wanted to be, that he desperately wanted to be. The Governor absolutely hated what he saw in Rick. With everything coming to a turning point, the Governor lost everything, and all he wanted to do was get revenge. Losing his eye, losing Penny, once and for all he wanted to do was get revenge on Michonne and even Merle. But Rick and his people kept him from achieving his goal. The Governor then slaughtered everyone in his crew, everyone who went against him, everyone who didn't want to have a war. He killed them without any remorse, only leaving Martinez and his fellow friend, because they would never go against him. After that moment, a piece of himself died. The Governor no longer wanted to be with anybody. He just wanted to be alone. He didn't seek food, didn't seek shelter, didn't seek company, because he knew deep down the fall of Woodbury, his Penny, everything around him was because of him. He knew that if he just found connection one more time, everything would repeat. He realized isolation was a better alternative. Until the Governor found a new group that took him in. They were even family to an extent. They even had a little girl that reminded him of his Penny. It looked like redemption. Had things really changed? Until Martinez comes back. With Martinez being back, the past is back to haunt the governor. Martinez was the leader of this small group, but Martinez as a leader was flawed. He was too soft. If he didn't change the way he led things, eventually everyone in the group would die. The governor only saw one way to handle this. He couldn't help but become the governor again. By killing Martinez, he became the leader of this small group. He only saw himself as fit to lead this small group. When the governor realized Rick Grimes was alive still, he knew in his heart he had to meet Rick again. Not only that, but for the prison. The governor, using his charisma and his great ability in lying, the governor manipulated everyone in his group to go after the prison. He would use Herschel and Michonne as leverage to get over the prison. It was at this moment the governor did not care about what happened to the others, as long as it didn't happen to him. Standing in front of the prison, it's revealed how much Rick Grimes has changed. Rick Grimes delivered a speech saying no matter how much terrible things you've done, you can change for good. Everyone has done the worst kinds of things to stay alive. But people can still change. They can still come back. It was an emotional and strong speech. But unfortunately, it's at this point where our question is answered. Could the governor have been redeemed? Maybe. But we'd never know, as the governor himself believed he couldn't be redeemed, silencing Rick with a single word saying, "Liar." With the battle beginning, the governor was obsessed, and it broke through. All he wanted to do was kill Rick. Out of jealousy, maybe, but it resulted in his own death. He didn't care about living anymore. He was too obsessed. And as the title suggests, too far gone. The governor is one of my favorite characters in The Walking Dead. Potentially my favorite villain in The Walking Dead. Yes, even better than Negan. I want to make more videos talking about different Walking Dead survivors. And if you like and subscribe, I will do more. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you all have a good day. More videos coming soon.